So this road gets really skinny. Oh, I can't even, and it's really tight through here. And so it looks like they're just going to take down the hill. Huh. I mean, it is super tight, and there's always tons of gravel right in the middle of the road. So that's cool that they're going to widen it out a little bit. So I'm on 356. I've only been on this road just a handful of times. I've had a bad experience on it. It's all my fault. We're in a really low part, and it floods all the time. And I was in my, it was on my daughter's birthday, and we're supposed to go out to eat, so I took a quick ride and came down through here, and there was some standing water, you know, not an inch at the most, you know, no big deal. You just go super slow, pick your feet up, and go right through it. And, I mean, this road's amazing to ride. And I got about a mile until I pulled off on 50, and it was a lot more water, but I knew the road banked, so if I stayed on the higher part of the bank, it wasn't going to be that deep. And I was wrong. I was real wrong. And it wasn't just, you know, like a 10-foot section. We're gonna go slow through here. It looks like there's a lot of loose rock. It was a section from about me to that sign. I don't know how many feet that is. 100 feet. Easy. You know, and I started in super slow, and it was just a couple inches, and I could see the bottom. And I mean, this is murky, nasty runoff water. You know, it's not super clear. So I knew it wasn't that deep because I could still see the double yellow as I was going through it. But I didn't stay on the high part of the road, and I dropped down into some very heavy water, very deep water, and on the STS, where it picks up the cold air, it dropped down, and I didn't realize it was that low in the Spyder. And sure enough, I filled the airbox up with water. Spyder stalled out, and I was smart enough not to try to keep starting it because I knew it was hydro locked. And all hydro locked means is when that piston comes up to the top of the head or the bottom of the head, and it compresses all of that air. If you have liquid in there, you cannot compress a liquid. So it will stop that piston, and if you keep forcing it, you can actually bend a connecting rod, break a piston. So, you know, I rolled on out of the water. You know, I didn't get stuck halfway in it or anything. I think plug wires got wet, and it just started missing, and it stalled out. But, you know, I knew not to mess with it. So I got it home and pulled it all apart, pulled the airbox out of it. The airbox was kind of weird on the STS. It had a really low spot, and it had about 2 inches of water down in the airbox. So I got all that cleaned out. I pulled the plugs out of it, cranked it over, and you know, you just get that water vapor just comes shooting out. So once I was pretty confident that I had all the water out of it, you know, I put the spark plugs back in, assembled it. It started right up, no problem. It smoked for a while because, you know, it filled the exhaust up with water. And, you know, I sat on the side of the road for about 3 hours for a tow truck to come down through here and pick me up. And I don't have cell service down here, but an ODOT truck, Ohio Department of Transportation, he was down checking on the water levels, and he let me use his phone. So I've been down that way, and it's gorgeous. So I'm going to try a new road. I think I know where this one goes, so I'm not going to freak out if it's not where I think it is. saying how I don't have my GPS. I don't know what's wrong with me. I know it's an issue I have, but if I've never been on a road and I'm not quite sure, you know, if I know where it starts and where it ends, yeah, sure, no problem. Let's hop on it. Let's go. But like this road, it should empty out at 50 or thereabouts to 50. But yeah, if I don't know, you know, that road and where it goes, I am not going to go on it unless I have the GPS. And I have always been that way. My buddy laughs at me all the time. He's like, just go for a ride, you know, go out there and take a left and take a right. And I'm like, dude, sometimes I'm a state away. I can't do that. You know, if I'm just around the house, yeah, sure. You know, or a county or so away, but you know, I rode for an hour to get to where I'm at, and I don't want to go down some road and end up in the middle of nowhere that I got no clue where I'm at. That's not fun for me. But people that can do that, that's awesome. So, you know, see, even here, it floods out all the time. But you know, I learned my lesson. You know, and no harm, no foul. I didn't get hurt. You know, the Spyder didn't get hurt. There was no water in the oil. I knew what happened when it happened, so it was called tow truck, and the only thing I was out was the time waiting for the tow truck, and then getting the Spyder back running again. The guy was super cool, and he kept it underneath the amount that my tow service would pay for, so